Fight fans all over the world, it's Daddy P with Slap Happy Gorilla. What? It's Daddy P. Look, Ryan Garcia, this drug cheat scandal is continuing. The saga continues, man. Look, it's one thing after another. Ryan Garcia has completely changed his story so many times. So it's like, okay, first is people tried to set you up. The Haneys tried to set you up. The Illuminati trying to set you up. Now it's I had contaminated supplements, and naming the different supplements, sometimes naming others. I mean, it's just been a ongoing process. For those of you that are fans, and I don't like calling people casual fans, but if you're a fan of Ryan Garcia and you're kind of a new fan to the sport, look, man, please don't be naive to the fact that PED use is rampant in the sport. These athletes, they know ahead of time that they are responsible for what goes in their body. Now, Ryan Garcia is 25-1, so he's 26 fights into his professional career. He was a storied amateur, meaning he had a storied amateur career, man. He won all type of championships. He is not new to this game. Listen, Ryan Garcia knows very well the game of boxing, and fighting on this level, this championship level, with the type of money that he is making. He has the money to pay people to know what's going on in his camp, to know what type of supplements, to do research to make sure that everything is kosher. Please don't be hoodwinked to the fact that these fighters know all of this stuff before they go into training camp. Their training regiments and everything are already mapped out. Before they actually start training, they already know exactly. They pay people to know this stuff. They know exactly what they're going to be doing. They have a diet. They know exactly what they're going to be eating. They know what their targets are for their weights. It's very organized. This is not some haphazard thing like a 5-on-5 pick, for, like you going to the court picking 5-on-5. Oh, yeah, I want him, the tall one. Nah, man, this thing is very organized. And Ryan Garcia has been doing this for a long time. He's been boxing since he's been a small kid. And, he's come up in the rankings. Like I said, he's won championships as an amateur. Now he's a professional and fighting on the championship level. So, all of this stuff about, I had my supplements and this was, nah. This stuff is already mapped out well before he goes into training camp. So, I mean, to believe some of this stuff that he's coming up with, for me, it's kind of hard. I'm not a professional. I'm a fan just like the rest of everybody else, man. But, just over the years, listening to professionals talk about these types of events that go on, these types of ways that fighters use PEDs to cycle on, to cycle off. It's just, like I say, I'm not a professional, but I'm not that naive to think that, oh, yeah, this was a mistake. This is something that he didn't know was going into his body. Nah, man, at this level and the type of money they dealing with, that's very unlikely. I'll say that. So what's the deal with it? Him cycling on, cycling off, microdosing. It's a lot of different terms to take in. But listen, for all of you fans that are kind of new to the sport, look, I'm a fan of boxing. As a young kid, watching pay-per-views. I can remember my first pay-per-view that I watched Mike Tyson as a kid. I was at my sister's for the weekend. Oh, man. Wanted to get the fight. He asked us, me and my nephew, like, yeah, we want to see Mike Tyson fight, and it was actually Buster Douglas. And Mike Tyson got knocked out. So, but since then, man, I, coming up as a casual fan, buying certain pay-per-views, you know, from Roy Jones Jr. to Floyd Mayweather, but I just became an avid boxing fan as time went on, following fighters closely, following the sport closely, doing research on how things work in the sport. And I just became a fan of the sport of boxing. And now I understand a little bit better. Like I say, I'm not a professional, but, I understand a lot of these terms a little bit more, a lot of these different type of things that the boxers do to get an edge. Man, look, PEDs he's not the only one using, there's boxers that use, and it's probably more than we could even fathom. But at the same time, they don't all get caught. He got caught, Ostarine. And the thing about steroids and performance enhancement drugs, it's not a thing where you just take a shot in your butt or you take a pill and now you're this monster that's going to come in the ring and knock everybody out. That's just not how it goes. They cycle on and cycle off of these different drugs that will help them train for longer amounts of time. It gives them better recovery. It also helps them like to be able to build muscle faster, to cut fat faster, different things like that. Cut weight. It's different drugs for different types of targets. And it's something that you do to help you over time, to help your performance. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, oh yeah, he just took a little bit that night and it wasn't enough. It was by mistake and it wasn't enough to affect his performance in the ring. That's just not how it works. If he's been using for a while. He cycle on, cycle off. He probably tried to cycle off too late. And his fluctuation in his weight, trying to target a certain, because even though he didn't make the 140-pound limit, he made 143. You got to know he walks around at a lot more than that. So in order to cut that weight, he still had to lose some weight to make 143, and if you've been following this storyline for a while, you know that the 143 was the highest that he could come in and still fight without getting heavily penalized or to be able to even compete. So his weight fluctuating, all of that probably had to do with him testing positive or with that being detectable in his system, because these athletes can also mask stuff in their system. But like I said, the weight fluctuation is probably what got him, and, they found it in his system. So, I mean, this is not the first time this has happened. It probably won't be the last time, but he is going through all of these shenanigans to try to get the light off of him. But I'll tell you this, actually what has happened, this scandal has probably made his name bigger. When this is all over, he'll probably get a slap on the wrist, about 6 months, even maybe a year at most probably. But when he comes back, his name is going to be bigger than it was before. He probably have more fans. He probably has some fans that'll fall off from the scandal, but he's probably gained a lot more fans, but also he's gained a lot more, I guess you'll say, traction in the game, clout, whatever. His name is actually ringing a bell. Like they say sometime, all publicity is good publicity. And in this case, it seems like Ryan Garcia, his name is getting bigger and bigger. His name is staying in the limelight for boxing. A lot of times after a fight, it's only so long, and then we're looking at other fighters that are about to fight. Like we got a Tank Davis fight coming up. You know what I'm saying? We just had Deontay Wilder fight. We got all of these different fights coming up. But this storyline has been like one of the top storylines in boxing. And that's since the fight, And the fight is, it's been a few weeks now. So This is actually working in his favor, I guess, But, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. But just please don't be hoodwinked by this. Hey, it is what it is. I like Ryan Garcia. I like Devin Haney, but, to fight fair is to fight fair. And when you got something in your system that can help your performance, or you've been taking things that can help your performance, it has actually given you an edge. So it is what it is. He got caught. He needs to pay the penalty. And, that's just how it happens. But y'all let me know, this Daddy P. Like, hate, comment, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell icon so you can be notified every time it go down. Hey, thank you to all the subscribers, man. Y'all, let's get this thing to 1,000. Hey, y'all rock with your boy. This Daddy P. I'm out of there.